In 2015, I was on track to make six figures working as a consultant. It was my first job out of college and my first real world experience that I was really excited. You're told to work really hard, get a college degree, and get a good job, and so I really thought that I had made it. Every day, I drove 30 minutes, took an hour metro ride, and worked 10 to 15 hours and commuted back the hour and a half, leaving me just enough time to eat and sleep and do it again the next day. But I was young, ambitious, making the most money I've ever made in my life, so I thought that this was all worth it. But as the years passed, the allure of working a high-paying consulting job started diminishing. These 5 lessons I learned really changed my perspective and taught me when it's time to quit. The first lesson is time is more important than money. Think about the full 24 hours you have in a day as a full cup. And a regular 9 to 5 job takes about 8 hours of your day. So it makes sense that about 33% of your life is spent on work, which supports the 67% of your life. But the work culture of a consultant is different. You're expected to work more hours and bill your time. So literally, I would spend increments of 15 minutes writing down exactly what it is I did during that time. And it was highly encouraged for you to work more hours. And if I ever wanted to leave the office before 6 p.m., it was highly frowned upon and people would look at you like, how dare you leave early? Maybe you don't have enough projects to work on. And if you had the time, you should be raising your hand and volunteering to help others. It was this culture of having to work a lot, and the more hours you worked, the more the company got paid. And as a salary employee and not hourly, I realized that the more hours I worked, the lower my hourly pay and the more hours I was losing of my personal time. I slowly started not being able to take vacations with friends, have dinner with family, and even simple things like going to the gym or cooking for myself. I just didn't have the time or energy to do outside of work. Over time, my work life started to take over my personal life to the point that there was just so little time left of my own personal life that it really made me wonder, is it worth it? And sure, when you're young, it's okay to work hard is what I thought, but looking into the future, I wanted a sustainable career that would let me go to family dinners, that would let me make an appointment in the middle of the day and have more control over my time. In 5 years from now, I honestly wouldn't even remember the PowerPoint I was working on, but I knew that the moments I had spending time with family are the things that I would remember, and those are the things I realized was more important to me. So thinking about all this and thinking about the next lesson really made me question, is it really worth it? Signs of toxic impact. Have you heard of these Sunday scaries? It's basically when you spend all week looking forward to the weekend, and when the weekend hits and it's Sunday, you spend all of your Sunday dreading work Monday, and it's this cycle over and over again. And I found myself doing that for months, and I thought this was normal. Everyone hates their job, right? I mean, no one really likes what they do. But soon I found out, having dinners with friends, that nobody felt the way I did, and nobody felt as miserable as I did about work. So I started reflecting and thinking about looking into the future, and that's where my next lesson comes in of look ahead at the people ahead of you. If I kept working these long hours, going towards a path that I knew I didn't love, what was I expecting would change? Albert Einstein is known for famously saying, insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. And this resonated with me because obviously nothing was going to change if I didn't do something about it. I sat down and assessed, what does this career path look like? And to me, it was very clear. You start as a consultant, you move up to senior, then you become a manager, director, VP, And as I looked ahead at the people who were 10 years ahead of me in that career path, I saw that that's not something I wanted at all. I realized, if I was being honest with myself, that I didn't really want to move up the corporate ladder. And when I looked at the people in those roles, they were still working a lot of hours, working with high pressure and having to manage large teams while still having their own responsibilities. I realized that none of it really excited me and that I was obviously in the wrong career path. And as I started reflecting, what really pushed me was knowing what drains you. People work not only for the salary, but also for a purpose, for growth, to learn something new. And for me, obviously, I was there to make money, but also I was looking to grow and learn new skills. And this was an opportunity, I thought, for me to experience the real world. And initially, the work was challenging. I was learning advanced Excel, learning how to navigate different conversations and influence others. But eventually, the learning stopped. I was spending more hours working, but I didn't feel like I was gaining any more skills. And most of the time as a consultant, honestly, I felt like was sitting around waiting for others. And so the longer hours really didn't equate to anything more for me, except that it started draining me more as I was no longer interested. There's a great article on Forbes that talks about recognizing what energizes and drains you, and they talk about not following your passion, but rather following your interests. They say, commit to learning and relearning what energizes and drains you. By dedicating yourself to what sparks your interests and what doesn't, you will more easily align with a successful career path that highlights your true talents. It became clear to me as time passed that the consulting work really no longer energized me and I needed a career change. And as I was having this revelation, I also realized that you are replaceable. When you work at a company for years, you think that you are irreplaceable. I mean, I thought this way when I was adding extra value to get promoted. And then when I started having feelings of not wanting to stay because I was feeling burnt out, I did have a feeling of, well, who could do all this work possibly if it weren't for me? But as I saw people leaving the company and how quickly they would get replaced and everything was running fine, I soon realized that we are all very replaceable. And after this, I view my job as a place of exchange in values. I perform my job duties, work on projects, perform my responsibilities in exchange for career growth, for an increase in salary, and for the ability to learn new skills. And when those things aren't being fulfilled for me, the job starts to feel purposeless and there is no longer a mutually beneficial relationship there. And this change in mindset was really that final push to get me to quit my job, because in the end, you have to look out for yourself and whether you're getting the value you need as well. So what did I end up doing after? Well, I decided to follow my interests and lean in towards a data analyst career. And I talk about my career path more in a Q&A format in this video. And if you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe to the channel. And I cannot wait to see you there. Thank you.